So I guess my background academically is computer science, which I studied in Trinity, Dublin. And then after that, I was an early employee at Iona Technologies, which was one of the early Irish tech players. We did integration technology and we went public on NASDAQ in 1996. So it was one of the kind of first generation of Irish companies to go public. And after that, a few of us left and set up another company called Clear, an integration startup, which was helping really with an XML web-based integration. We ran that for about almost 10 years, and then we were acquired by Workday, which is or has become a major HR finance ERP provider in the cloud. So I spent like 12 years at Workday. Seems like a long time. I guess it is a long time. Partly in Dublin and then mostly over in California, where I was running the engineering team and then finished up as CTO. So after I left Workday, I was kind of got more and more involved in early stage technology companies, working with them, advising them, investing in them. And that's now more or less what I do full time. And that's essentially how I came across Payslip. Yeah, it's a good question. I think, prior to being in Workday, I hadn't had much exposure to payroll at all. And most people don't really think much about payroll, except insofar as they see a payslip at the end of the month. Hopefully it rises every month. Hopefully the number is both large and correct at the end of every month. And it turns out that's a hard problem to solve, especially for companies that operate in more than one country. So this is something I saw a lot at Workday, that big global companies and even small companies, because increasingly most companies are multinational, even if they're not necessarily that big, they struggle with delivering timely, accurate, repeatable, reliable payroll solutions to their employees. And they also don't have a lot of visibility into, at a management or an analytic level, into what they're doing with their payrolls. So basically global payroll is just a huge mess. It's a giant market. It's a super important business process. It's a huge mess and it's a totally unsolved problem. So I'm always interested to find companies therefore that are trying to solve or help solve that problem. And in my view, Payslip has a very differentiated, in fact, a unique approach to helping companies solve the problem of delivering accurate, reliable, global payroll. And that was probably the most important factor in Frontline's decision to invest and in my decision to also be involved. I guess the second thing always with startup companies is the team is super important. And Fidelma, who's the founder and CEO, personally has previously built a large multinational company out of Ireland. So she's clearly got the experience, the background, the capability to do this. And on her second journey here with Payslip, I've been continually impressed with how she's approached the problem, the quality and caliber of the team that she's built, both in Ireland and internationally. And I think the combination of the market opportunity, the product that the company has built, and the talent the company has assembled to work in this problem really makes me and Frontline very confident that Payslip's going to be a very big company over time. At the end of the day, I'm a sort of product guy by background. So the thing I always care about is the product amazing? Like, are we innovating rapidly in the product? Are we making it better all the time and very rapidly? Is it leading in the market? Is it getting better? Is it pulling away from the competition? So that whole dimension of product quality, capability, innovation, depth is very important to me, and it's something that we focus on a lot as a board. I think the second thing is obviously customer satisfaction. Sounds obvious, but it continues to amaze me how many companies aren't actually sufficiently focused on making their customers successful and happy. I think happy customers are both obviously good for growth and revenue, but also they're in a way your best salespeople. And I've seen a lot of Payslip's bigger and better sales opportunities and customers come in from recommendations by current customers. And I think that's the single most important growth engine really a business can have, is a growing and happy set of customers who are using the product, who are expanding their usage of the product, and who are talking about it very positively with their peers to encourage them to also become customers. Because a lot of these markets, and payroll is one of those markets, there's kind of quite a tight-knit community of influencers and people active in the ecosystem. And I think once you start building good word of mouth, that can be a very positive flywheel effect. And I think Payslip is seeing that already. So I think keeping our eyes on that is important. And the third thing really is I think having the right culture in the company. Sometimes when companies grow quickly, they can lose connection with who they really are and how they want to operate and how they want to behave, both with their customers, with their employees, and even with their competitors. And I think I really like the culture that the company has created early. Fidelma was very focused on this and still is. I think protecting and reinforcing that culture, even as the company grows rapidly, is going to be very important, because if we have happy employees, that can lead to happy customers and help reinforce that virtuous flywheel that I talked about. So that's a few things that we're certainly focused on. There are many others. There's always lots of things to look at, but I think they're probably some of the key things that we're concerned about as a board as we look at the next phase of growth of the company.